running down the railroad. It's like looking at the sun.
Thank you.
Normal operation on the engine. Over here on the engineer side, this is the throttle. Squeeze this trigger, pull the handle back, it makes the engine go. This is your power reverser. I hate to call it like a transmission because it's not an actual transmission on the engine, but for all intents and purposes, basically it's what it is.
Okay.
Push it forward, the engine goes forward, you pull it back, it goes in reverse. Once we get going, we've got to bring everything to a stop. So these are our brakes. You've got your automatic, which is your train brake, and your independent brake, which is just your locomotive brake. Bell control, pull this out the bell rings. Sander controls. Have an injector here. It's one of two methods we have for introducing water into the boiler. Gauge cluster, speedometer, brake pipe gauges, steam chest, back pressure gauge, and boiler pressure gauge. And you have your whistle pull on both sides of the engine, engineer and fireman. Firebox behind us here. 2 water glasses, one on each side to tell us the water level inside the boiler. You can't really see it from your angle, but if you step to the sides, you'll see there's a little window there, and that's so you can actually see the physical water level in that glass. Firebox. I just broke the bank up that was in it, that I put in it last night. We haven't really got the fire stoked up yet because we're not moving anytime soon, so we're just kind of keeping everything hot so when it's time to go we can just roll some coal in there and we'll be ready to rock. Okay? Over here on this side, this is the fireman's side. This is the stoker control. This is how we get coal from the coal bunker into the firebox. This is the stoker blast. This is how we distribute the coal into the firebox once it gets to the firebox. In this gauge cluster here, we have this gauge has 2 needles in it. One is for the stoker and one is for the stoker blast. So we can monitor these 2 appliances by the pressure gauge here. So the higher the pressure, the harder they're working. So we're running the stoker at a higher pressure, we're delivering more coal.
Is it an auger system?
It is an auger, yeah. Inside this tube, there's a screw that goes underneath this into the bottom of the bunker. And then it just pulls everything from the bottom out. Feed water pump. This is the second method we have of introducing water into the boiler. This takes the same water that the injector uses, but it preheats it through the exhaust steam that's coming out of the steam chest. We only use this when we're operating. This is hot water when it goes into the boiler. The injector is cold water. So this is only in operation, and that's why we're setting still. And then this guy is the blower control. This creates an artificial draft inside the firebox. Keeps the fire hot, keeps oxygen getting to it while we're sitting still. When we're moving, we don't need this, so we cut it off because the engine creates its own draft. Okay? Well, that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to take photographs, feel free to take pictures. You can have a seat in either seat. I just don't yank, twist, pull, or tug on anything.
On the side of the engine, there's like 6x6.
out. Here we go.
Means our journey to Paradise, Pennsylvania is about to begin. And rest assured, everyone here is in for something special today. As our welcome guests, all you need to do is sit back, enjoy the view, and make a few memories with us along the way. Thank you for joining us today, and welcome aboard the Strasburg Railroad. What you see around you, ladies and gentlemen, is not just for show. Right now, you're passing through a working rail yard. These tracks help us transport lumber, grain, steel, and biofuels to regional businesses. But there was a time when you didn't hear our steam whistle. By 1957, our rails and equipment were in pretty bad shape. And with no one to manage operations, look like our stories about that.
Go.
I'm from a veteran. Henry Nicholas.
Thank you, sir. Have a good trip. Good day.
Specialty here in Strasburg. Our mechanical shop located here, running right, is nationally recognized for their expertise in steam locomotive repair and restoration. And we're proud to say that has benefited heritage railroads and museums all over the country. But we're most proud to have that talent used right here, where we rekindle a love of old-time railroading.
1932, the Pennsylvania legislature chartered the Strasburg Railroad, allowing the construction of this 4.5 miles of track that we call a short line. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what allowed this piece of Pennsylvania Dutch country to connect with the mighty Philadelphia and Columbia Railroad. That locomotive up front will burn up to a half-ton of coal in this round trip, all hand shoveled by our firemen into a 2,000-degree firebox. It's exactly that kind of hard work and backbone that's helped this railroad survive more than few hard turns. We've weathered many storms in our time. We've come a long way. We're happy to share that legacy with you today. The speed of our trains, the oldest timetable we've ever found for our short line was in the Strasburg newspaper dated August of 1852. We'd still follow that same basic schedule today, so I can tell you that we're traveling at a comfortable speed that's under 60 miles per hour. Way under 60 miles per hour. Preparing one of our steam engines for their daily service is not as simple as turning the ignition key. The cold locomotive can take up to 6 hours to fire up properly. This is done by gradually raising the temperature inside a firebox to increase steam pressure in the boiler. It's a process known as Hosteling. Our staff will also provide a full inspection of the locomotive. We review a multitude of moving parts to ensure the tender is filled with coal and water for the day's journey.
Hear the whistle?
Yeah.
It's coming to a stop.
It looks fun.
Look at the slides.
I'd like to work.
Yeah, maybe afterwards.
And the scrappers took up the rail so quickly that they stranded old number 6 out on the line with no way to get back. Sometimes when we blow our whistle for Carpenter's Crossing, the ghost of old number 6 will answer us back. Now, listen closely. Maybe she'll answer us today. Did someone say echo? Why, we pay that ghost $27.50 a day just to do that for us. That makes her the highest paid employee on our railroad. Nobody ever seen that ghost, but somebody keeps cashing those paychecks.
Behind those gates is where one of our first settlers was laid to rest. An 18th century French Huguenot named Marie Curie. After fleeing their native France to avoid religious persecution, Marie and a small group of followers were given an audience with Queen Anne, thanks to an English philosopher, Quaker, and lifetime advocate of religious freedom, William Penn.
Actually, the real reason that the bridge was replaced was due to the Amish farmer's complaints about his mules scraping their sides and hitting their heads. The bridge is now more than 6 mules wide and high enough that the mules no longer need to wear safety helmets.
intersection here with the completion of our own railroad in 1851. The track will begin to curve sharply to the left as we come alongside Amtrak's Keystone Corridor from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. This was the original route of the Philadelphia and Columbia Railroad, which became part of the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1857. Where the white buildings stand today once stood Henry Lemon's Hotel. Believe it or not, in the earliest days of railroading, railroad cars and carriages were pulled by horses. Henry Lemon would supply fresh horses for the trains and refreshments for passengers. The interchange track on the running right is used to deliver freight cars off the main line into our East Strasburg yard, where shipments are offloaded to trucks for local delivery. The most famous delivery to come through Lemon Place arrived on February 22nd, 1861, when President-elect Abraham Lincoln made a short stop in Lancaster County on the way to his Washington inauguration. Thousands gathered around these tracks just to see a glimpse of Mr. Lincoln, who stepped out, faced the crowd, and said,
I've come to see you and let you see me. I believe I have the better of
The crowd was equally enthusiastic to see Mary Todd Lincoln. When she stepped out and stood beside her much taller husband,
Strasburg Station. We hope you enjoy this journey on America's oldest shoreline. Be sure to take some time to talk about railroad staff. Our conductors, engineers, and redcaps are always happy to share their expertise and answer your questions. And before you leave us today, I'd recommend paying a visit to our gift shops and cafe. On behalf of all of us here in Strasburg, we thank you for taking the time to visit and share our love of old-time railroading in beautiful Lancaster County.
Yeah, come early. It's super crowded.
That was fun. Hey, Mommy, come back here. I need to show you something.
Okay, hang on one sec, please.
In the back of the car.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. That's good. Wait for it. I does go out the door here. Did you have fun?
He sure did. That's what I hear. Excuse me, thank you.
Hope you guys folks have a great rest of your day. Hello.
Hey.
Boy can unhook the engine and for it to come back around when it
Yeah.
does, you'll exit towards the left.
Yeah, you have tears in your eyes. That was so fun. Okay, I'm home.
There she goes. Hello.
Although I do like that.
Oh, I found that was like the first night there. Got a mile and a half away.
Yes.
I have a radio.
Okay.
Delta, come across the yard. Now! And I'll split. Wasn't that nice?
No.
You don't think they're like easier? Us doing nice things for them goes very far. Because then they do nice things for us. Are you guys crossing? Cross.
Not right now. I'm alright.
Go ahead.
Once again, as the people get information on the list of the press.